Hi, my name is Neela Wybrow and I am the Deputy Principal of Broadstairs College. I am also the Director of Pre-16 Development for the EKC Group. Thank you so much for joining us for this video. It's not normally how we would do the process. We would normally meet you all for a big induction talk at our campus, but obviously times are what they are and we have to do things a little differently. This talk is really important. It talks you through what the junior college is, what it isn't, and the type of learner who is suitable to study with us at 14 years old. It's a really big decision taking your young person out of school at 14 and sending them off to a new provision, so it's important that you know everything about us and that you make the right choice for your young person. In a moment I'm going to hand over to Melissa Beer, who is the head of the junior college, and if you're fortunate enough to get a place to study with us in September, you will see and hear an awful lot more from her.
In today's short presentation, we're going to look at what the junior college is and is not. We will look at our curriculum and the progression routes that opens up for your young person. We will talk through what the admission process looks like now and give you some key dates for the rest of the process. Broadstairs Junior College is a very unique and technically focused way of learning. Not being a school, the Department for Education number means we're able to offer a much stripped back and relevant curriculum, which is exactly what we've done. The purpose is to educate young people on all the relevant things that they will need to fast track them into their chosen career. So what is Broadstairs Junior College? As it says, we are a unique and technical education experience. We deliver a broad, balanced and relevant curriculum. Our college is made up of Year 10 and Year 11 students. They're mainly full-time and they undertake the full curriculum. We also have some part-time home educated students who come to us for their maths, English and their vocational course alongside their home education studies. We study in our own designated building for our core maths and English and for our unstructured time. And we offer the opportunity to fast track through level 1 and 2, depending on curriculum area, into a vocational area by Year 11. So we have a real focus on progressing our students into their chosen career.
So Melissa has talked you through some of the reasons why Broadstairs Junior College is a fantastic place to learn and what it looks like to be a student at the college. I think it is really important to talk about what the junior college isn't. Over the years we've heard a range of reasons why young people want to join us, from their passion for a particular vocational area to not fitting the normal mould of what a secondary school is and the number of subjects you have to study. And all of these are really valid reasons for wanting to come and study with us. However, we've also heard some misconceptions along the years that I think it is important to articulate. There have been some students who have applied to us because they're close to permanent exclusion at their current school, stating that they don't learn well in a school environment or they don't like the classroom and they misbehave. And I think they seem to think that by coming to a college there isn't class-like lessons and there isn't high expectations. I think it's really important to state that, if anything, our expectations are somewhat higher. With your vocational subjects, you're studying alongside 16 plus and adults, and these young people want to learn in a further education environment, and therefore we expect you to raise your standards to not make it feel like a school to them. We're not a specialist behaviour provision and we don't have particularly small classes, so it's really important to note that, if anything, the expectation in that regard is somewhat higher. It's not somewhere to go if you don't like learning. We get lots of applicants say, well, I don't like doing written work and I don't like the theory lessons. Even if you come and study automotive with us, there are still theory elements, there are still written elements. So that's a really important thing to make sure you're aware of. It's also not somewhere to go if you're fed up of being treated like a child and want an adult environment. What I love about the junior college is it is preparing you for progression. And as long as you're mature enough to stay within the restricted areas of campus, to wear your uniform and lanyard so you can be identified as a pre-16, you're very much treated like a young professional. But obviously with all of those things, that is a two-way street. So we need learners who are really passionate about a vocational area, who are disciplined in their study, because the expectation that you will be studying a level 2 qualification that 16 and 17-year-olds study means that you've got to be disciplined and apply yourself. And you need to be mature in your behaviour and your attitude to ensure that you are meeting the high expectations of a further education college.
So what does our curriculum look like? As I mentioned previously, we are not a DfE school. We follow the 14 to 16 direct entry into college guidance. A link to this can be found in the comments section of this video. There are only a few compulsory elements to our curriculum. There is a real vocational emphasis, with students completing roughly 360 hours a year against their vocational option. As a result of this relevant curriculum, 97% of our Year 11s last year progressed onto further education, level 2 or 3 programs, or into apprenticeships. The curriculum offer. I would like to take this opportunity to run through our curriculum offer. It is considerably different to a traditional school offer, so it's really important that you're clear on what your young person will be studying and the qualifications they will be leaving us with. So all of our students will be studying GCSE Maths and GCSE English Language on a 2-year programme. They will be studying only with their peer group, so it will only be 14 to 16 students in those classes. They will also have their vocational qualification. This is the point in which they will infill into the post-16 programmes. They will be taught by industry standard lecturers, and they are fortunate enough to be studying with industry standard facilities. So as well as their maths and English and their vocation, all of our full-time students will also complete a level 2 in personal and social development. We cover this through PSHE and careers. They will also participate in STEAM projects, so this will cover science, technology, engineering, arts and maths. They will have the opportunity to participate in community social action projects. There will be a real focus on well-being through physical education, daily reflection, target setting and development.
I love to show that video to students because I think it gives you a real picture of what it means to be a part of the EKC group. And obviously at the moment you're just applying for a place at Broadstairs Junior College, but when it comes to post-16 study and your progression, there are many opportunities for you past Broadstairs College. We have several other colleges within the group, within Folkestone, Canterbury, Dover, Sheppey, and we've also now taken over Ashford College also as part of our family of colleges. In addition to our colleges, we also have something called EKC Work Hire. This is the arm of our organisation that runs all of our apprenticeships. Many of our learners have gone on from 16 to study an apprenticeship, meaning that you can be paid money while studying your further education and going into industry. Because we have that arm to our organisation, it means that whilst you are here, if you apply yourself and get best references, it puts you in a really, really good position to get a great apprenticeship after your GCSEs. We also have an arm of our organisation called EKC Commercial Services, which consists of the Arrow Hotel, which is our 4-star commercial hotel on site at Broadstairs, as well as 2 nurseries across our group, our refectories, and other opportunities that are always being explored and built. EKC Commercial Services was created with one sole purpose, and that was to ensure that students got real life work experience. If you study early years and care with us, in your second year, once you're 16, you can go and do your work experience in our nursery, which is a real life community nursery. If you're studying hospitality, you can go and study that within our hotel. It's for these reasons that it gives you that next step to building a real CV before you've even left school. I think it's important to talk to you about progression for students and what that looks like after junior college. My biggest reason for talking to you about this is because, as you may or may not be aware, young people have to stay in education or training until they're 18. So although our programme is a 2-year study of year 10 and 11, we do like to ensure that there is a progression route right through to the age of 18 so that you can leave here in 4 years' time fully qualified and ready for industry. I think another important reason to discuss this is because we have had students in the past who have come and studied with us and then had the desire to go back to sixth form. It's really important to remember that where our curriculum is so different to schools, we don't necessarily cover the full curriculum that gives you the entry requirements to get back into sixth form. So if you're choosing to go back to sixth form to study A-levels, you may want to discuss with your careers advisor whether you would get back into sixth form on our curriculum. However, we would hope that you want to stay here and progress right through to year 13 with us, because that is what the aim of the junior college is. So I just want to give you a couple of examples of what your progression route for the next 4 years could look like if you studied with us. So the most common route is this one. You would study a level 1 in year 10 and a level 2 in year 11. There are only 2 exceptions to this, one being in construction and the other in hair and beauty. And that's because of the barred units and due to age restrictions of things like working with chemicals and cutting and working at heights. But I can assure you that the alternate routes that are designed by these curriculum areas still allow for positive progression. In year 12, you are more than likely to study a level 3 foundation diploma, and then in year 13, either an extended diploma or an apprenticeship if you want to make the move to work higher. Equally, we are well aware that there are some 14-year-olds who may think they want to be a professional chef now, but in 2 years they have a change of heart. And we do have some students who leave us at year 11 and then opt to change their pathway and move over to a different one within the college. If this is the case, you may be required to repeat a level 2 in that area because you won't have the foundation skills for it. But it still allows you to study level 3 in year 13 and positively progress. The admissions process is going to look slightly different this year because of the restrictions of COVID-19. All the information of the whole admissions and application process is on our website, and it's slightly different to what's in our policy because of the restrictions we have. The first stage of this is today's video, and once the application process is finished, we will send an email to all applicants with a link. This link will have a date and a time, and it will take you to an app called Zoom. During the lockdown period, many of you may have used it. It is a video conferencing app which will enable us to undertake all of our interviews. Therefore, you will need a laptop or a telephone device to run this app, and we urge you to get this all set up and tested before your interview slot. If you do not have internet access or a computer, please contact Broadstairs Junior College at eastkent.ac.uk, and we will look at what reasonable adjustments we can put in place. Unfortunately, because the entire panel can't be together because of COVID-19 restrictions, we are really limited to how we can do these interviews. Therefore, we have thought that Zoom is the best way to do this. Once you are sent that link, it will have a date and a time, and you will join myself and Melissa Beer in an interview. We require the parents and carers to be present because as minors, we need to know that it is their choice that you're applying and not yours. However, this is an interview between myself and Melissa and you as the student. So it will be you that we're talking to, but parents and carers, you are more than welcome to ask questions at the end. At the beginning of the interview, we will ask for your permission to audio record the session, and this is just so we have it as evidence in any appeal situations. In this interview, you'll be asked a series of questions about you as a learner, how you learn, how you don't learn, and the reasons why you want to join us. Please answer these honestly, because this is what helps us to establish if you're right, but also if we're right for you. After this interview, in around June time, you will be sent a second email. This will have a project that you need to complete as part of your application. This is to replace what would normally be your taster sessions on campus. But in the current circumstances, we don't know when we're next going to have access to college. This will be a project that you will have 5 days to complete, and it will be relevant to your subject that you are applying for. You need to complete this on your own and following all the guidance that has been given to you by the lecturer. Again, if you're struggling at home, you can email Broadstairs Junior College at eastkent.ac.uk and your query will be forwarded to the relevant lecturer who can help you, just like if you were in the classroom. You will email that back by the Friday midnight, and this will play a part of how we select the students who are successful. The third strand is a reference from your school. On the email with your pack, you will be given a reference template. This needs to be sent to someone at your school for completion. This should be a head of year or a member of the senior leadership team. This is a mandatory part of your application process, and no applications will continue without it. You will be given a deadline at a later date of when this needs to be completed. If you're a home educated student and don't study at a school currently, it either needs to be from your most recent school, or if you have never attended school, maybe a leader of a club that you are a part of. If not, you need to make it clear in your application that you have never attended a school, and we will consider this at the point of application. All of these are compulsory elements and what will help us decide. In previous years, we've had over 100 applicants for 30 spaces, so it's really important that you give as much information within those sections of the application as possible. At the end of the process, you will be written to with either an accept or a decline and stages to move forward from there. If you are unsuccessful, there is an appeals process within our policy that you can follow.
So what happens next? As Neela mentioned, during COVID-19 restrictions, this has changed. Attached to the email you were sent to this link, you would have been sent 2 things. Firstly, an easy guide of how to use Zoom. Get looking at that now, downloading it and having a play with it so you're comfortable with how to use it. And secondly, you would have had an attachment of a reference form. As Neela mentioned, this is to be completed by your most recent or current school and emailed to the Junior College email address on the screen by the 26th of June. No application will be taken forward without this element as per our policy. You'll be sent a second email in the coming days with a link to a Zoom meeting, a date and a time. If you're having technical problems, you can email the junior college email address on the screen and we will support you. In the likely event that college will not open this side of the summer, we will unlikely to conduct our usual 2-day observed tasters. Therefore, as a substitute to this, we will be evaluating your suitability with a virtual project. This will be sent to you on Monday the 30th of June, and you will have until midnight Friday the 5th of July to complete and upload. Again, if you know ahead that doing this digitally will be difficult, you must let us know ahead of time so we're able to post you a pack and you will have to post this back to the college. Some courses such as digital media may rely on IT, so as much notice that you can give us regarding these difficulties is going to be absolutely key. We aim to have accept and decline emails to everyone by the end of July, and this email will detail the next stages. I understand there's been a lot of information, so please watch this video as many times as you need and find questions to us in the email address on the screen. Myself and Neela look forward to meeting you via Zoom, and thank you for your interest in junior college. See you soon and take care.